Welcome to another midweek moment. Lately I've been asking myself the question, what's next? Almost like you do when you play the game of life with your kids, where you're spinning and you're wondering, okay, what's the next move going to be? What's the next card that I'm going to pick up? What's next? So I look over and my neighbor now has their home for sale, and I find myself wondering, what's next? Who's going to move in next? Or I sit down and I have a conversation with my brother, and he tells me that he wants to go back to school to get his college degree, and I wonder, for his sake, what's next? Or we find ourselves as a church right now in the middle of a call process to bring in a new director of Christian education, and as we go through that process, I find myself wondering, what's next? Who's going to pick up that career card that says that they're going to be led here to St. John's? I find out recently that my wife's whole family has COVID and they're quarantining. And I wonder, what's next? Or we go through this presidential election cycle and I watch what's happening and I begin to wonder, what's next? Or I just finished up the finishing touches of putting together a Next Steps online membership course, and as I'm inviting others to participate in that, I begin to wonder, what's next? Who's going to be led to join our church through that? That question of what's next, it can be either asked with a touch of excitement, like what's next? Or a titch of apprehension. What's next? So how do we navigate what's next as Christians? The Christian life is one of discipleship. And discipleship is simply choosing to play the game of life, taking it one step at a time with Jesus. Because here's the truth. I don't know what's next. I don't know what number is going to be spun next. I don't know what card's going to be played. But Jesus does. And so as I navigate the game of life, I choose to trust in Him. I choose to turn to Him. I choose to believe that, as Revelation 1 verse 8 says, that He's the one who was, who is, and who is to come. He's the Alpha and the Omega. He's the one who was there at the beginning, and He's the one who will be there to see it through to the end. He's the one who Hebrews 12 says is the starter and the finisher of my faith. He's the one that Proverbs 3 verse 6 says is the one who directs my paths. Sometimes it's fun to play out all of the possibilities. And I find myself doing that sometimes. Just in my mind, I'm playing through all the different scenarios that could happen. But what I found is a better approach is not simply to play out all the possibilities, because let's be honest, sometimes that's overwhelming. It's better to pray out all the possibilities. That's what I found myself doing this morning as I was out running. As I found myself thinking about what's next, I just stopped and I said, okay, God, you've got this. Help me to walk this out one step at a time with you. So, what's next for you? What do you find yourself wondering about, worried about, wishing for? I'd love to hear. I'd love to have you share that in the comments section below. And rather than just playing out all the possibilities, I'd love to pray out all those possibilities with you. Because when it comes to the game of life, only Jesus is the one who knows what comes next. let's continue to walk with him. And I'll see you again next time.